WeWork was worth more than Ford. It didn't build cars, it didn't make software, it rented desks. And in 6 weeks, $47 billion of it simply vanished. But here's the part nobody can explain to their boss. The man who lit the fire walked away richer than when he started. That's not a failure story. That's a heist. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how one man hypnotized the smartest investors on earth, how a company that lost money on every single customer became America's most valuable startup, and why the bill for all of it landed on people who never set foot in a WeWork. Buckle up. This is the greatest magic trick in startup history. 2010. New York City is still bleeding from the financial crisis. Office towers sit half empty. Landlords are desperate. Enter a 6'5" Israeli ex-Navy officer with hair like a rock star and zero real estate experience. Adam Neumann had already failed at 2 businesses. One sold baby clothes with knee pads, but Adam had discovered something more valuable than any product. People don't buy desks, they buy belonging. So he took a cheap, empty floor in Soho, filled it with beer taps and neon signs, and sold it as a revolution. He didn't call it office rental, he called it a physical social network. The actual business was brutally simple. Rent buildings long, slice them up, rent desks short, sign a 15-year lease, sell monthly memberships, pocket the difference. As long as every desk stays full, forever. That as long as was the loaded gun in every room. Nobody looked at it. Freelancers came for the free beer. They stayed because loneliness is the one problem every generation pays to solve. Within 5 years, WeWork was in 50 buildings across 3 continents. And that's when the most dangerous man in finance noticed him. Masayoshi Son ran SoftBank and a $100 billion fund, the largest pile of venture money ever assembled. Son had one famous rule: bet everything on the craziest founder in the room. His meeting with Adam was scheduled for 2 hours. It lasted 12 minutes. 12 minutes. $4.4 billion. In the car afterward, Son told Adam, "In a fight, being crazy beats being smart." And Adam took it as permission. WeWork stopped acting like a company and started acting like a religion. Adam walked Manhattan barefoot, smoked in meetings, and told staff WeWork would one day solve world hunger. His wife Rebecca, the chief brand officer, reportedly fired people minutes after meeting them because she didn't like their energy. Summer camps, surf retreats, a private school, a wave pool company. Adam bought it all with investor money. He flew a $60 million private jet with a sound system that played his wife's meditation tracks. He trademarked the word "we," then sold it to his own company for $5.9 million. And quietly, long before any collapse, Adam was already cashing out, selling shares and borrowing against his stake. More than $700 million, banked, while employees were paid in dreams and stock options. Employees got tequila shots at all-hands meetings, sometimes right after layoffs. Inside the company, they had a word for the magic: Adam's reality distortion field. The valuation said it best: 15 billion, 20 billion, 47 billion. To justify the math, WeWork invented its own metric: community-adjusted EBITDA, profit after deleting most of the costs. Wall Street veterans laughed out loud. The money kept coming anyway. WeWork was now worth more than Ford, more than Twitter, more than half the airlines in America. There was just one tiny detail buried under the confetti. WeWork lost money on every desk, in every building, in every country, every single day. It wasn't a unicorn. It was a bonfire with a logo. In August 2019, Adam did the one thing a magician must never do. He showed everyone how the trick worked. To go public, WeWork had to file a document called an S-1, a legal confession of how the business actually runs. Wall Street opened it expecting a tech company. They found a real estate company in a costume. The numbers were science fiction, losing $219,000 every hour, every day, for years. The governance was worse. If Adam died, his wife would help choose the next CEO. Adam had voting shares worth 20 regular votes. Kingmaker control forever. Investors started asking the question that kills every spell. Wait, what exactly are we paying for? Then reporters found the stories, like the private jet flight where the crew discovered a cereal box stuffed with marijuana. The jet's owner recalled the plane mid-trip. The aura cracked in public for the first time. In 6 weeks, the offering price collapsed from 47 billion to 20, to 12, to 8. The IPO, the moment of going public, was canceled entirely. And the board finally did what boards do when the music stops. They fired the prophet. What happened next should have been the punishment scene. 12,000 employees lost their jobs. Cleaners, receptionists, junior staff, many walked out with weeks of severance. Landlords across 300 cities were left holding decade-long leases signed by a ghost. SoftBank's $100 billion vision fund recorded the biggest loss in its history, and SoftBank still had to rescue the wreck, pouring in billions more just to stop the fire spreading to its other bets. And Adam Neumann? Read this part slowly. To make him leave, SoftBank paid him $1.7 billion. He lost his company and got richer than 99% of successful founders. Fired, rewarded, in the same sentence. Now here's what they don't tell you in business school. Venture capital doesn't price companies, it prices stories. And the bigger the storyteller, the smaller the questions. Son needed a legend to justify the largest fund in history. Adam needed a believer with bottomless pockets. Every check made the story truer. Every story made the next check bigger. The money that burned wasn't theirs. It came from pension funds, sovereign wealth, retirement accounts, ordinary savings routed through giants. When the smoke cleared, the storytellers kept their fortunes. The believers kept the ashes. Remember the heist we promised you? Here's the final receipt. Adam Neumann is back. In 2022, top investors handed his new company $350 million before it even launched. The system didn't punish the magician. It booked him for another show. Because markets don't reward truth. They reward belief until the exact second they don't. And if you think only startups die from believing their own story, next time we autopsy Nokia, the king that did everything right and still lost its head.